Greetings from WBCS New. Merry Christmas, and it is now Boxing Day. So belated Christmas. So I was very fortunate to get a very nice present off my wife. Thank you, Rosie. A GAN 12 MagLev. Okay, I've got the GAN 11 on the right hand side here with all its kit, and this is the GAN 12 with its kit. I will show you the box though. The box for the GAN 12 is just something just to admire. I've got LED lighting in here, and it just lights this box up so well, and the refraction on the box is just it's like a magic trick all of its own. It's just really good. Anyway, so that's the box. You get the usual stuff in the box. You'll get your Q Station intro card and your GAN special sort of credit card thing. I still haven't looked at those yet. I've got a few of those and I still haven't got one looked at. So I will look at that hopefully before New Year. So we'll show you the boxes they come in. They always come in a nice fancy box. This is a GAN 11 box, which is split in half sort of thing to reveal, or sorry, split in quarters. And you got the nice GAN 11. Okay, so what does the GAN 12 come in? GAN 12 comes in this nice transparent box, because you can't see the cube at all in that one. And it does like a half split, which is cool. Okay, there is some cool stuff on there. I don't know if you can see the lines there as I do that. There's like two little strips on here, and I like little rubber strips, very very fine. You can barely feel them with your finger, and it must just be like protectors to stop the cube rubbing against the plastic and abrasing it or whatever. Okay, just for reference, this is the GAN 12 MagLev UV edition. It's UV coded, and you can see that if we, I don't know if I've got a cloth. I'll just try to polish it on me top, as it were. But if you look at that, and I'll polish the blue on the GAN 11. So if we compare that, and we'll try to get the light bouncing off both of them, like that, you can see clearly that the GAN 11 is definitely more blurriness, and the sharpness of the UV is it's nearly reflecting the light perfectly. That's pretty good. Okay, why UV coded? Primarily because it's so smooth. You would think it would be slippier. I have just re-lubed this cube. I've been playing with it since yesterday, so I have played with it and tweaked it and set it up and stuff. But even though I've got a bit of oil on my fingers, I've still got perfect grip on this cube. Whereas this one, it feels like my fingers want to slide, but it doesn't feel like, it's like my fingers still grip even though I've got oil on them. It's just amazing what the UV difference does. So yes, I love that. That's a really nice thing, and I'm glad I decided I wanted a UV one, and I've been hopping on before Christmas for this cube. As soon as I seen it coming out, I was like, oh, how will somebody buy it? And thank you, wife, got us it. Like I say, we've done the box thing, so I'm going to get the boxes out of the way. Box is great. Boxes are great for keeping the dust off. You do get the usual cube bag within the box. The boxes have pretty much got the same stuff in. They've got the solve and the adjustment pamphlets inside. This one's got the little screwdriver on here, but you don't need it with the new one. Well, I'll explain that in a minute. But you do have, if you look inside, I should get a bit of light on there. Notice this one's got a very very navy blue bag, which is a really nice, it's one of those lovely colours. It just reminds me of my old school uniform. It used to be navy blue. And you've got like a light blue bag in the old GAN 11, so I prefer the darker colour. I think it's just a nice contrast, a really nice colour. The tool section, I'll just put them back over there. Tool sections that came, this is a GAN 11 tool section. We'll get hold out of the camera, and what you've got is you've got your me maths has gone on my head. 8 magnets to swap over. These are the strong ones. Normally the hexagonal ones are the strong ones. And you've got the secondary set of adjusters here with the adjustment or tension key. Okay, and that would slot in, and I'll show you that in a minute. In the GAN 12 you get this little, whoop, I've just dropped a bit out. I don't normally do that. I should do a retake some other times. I've done this and done it perfectly, and at one time I decided to make it really good. So that's got a different key altogether, and we'll show you that. Still got the same bits in there, but as you notice, you haven't got these bits, and we'll come to that in a second. Okay, so we've got a key. We're going to keep the key out. I'll just move that over there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the top off the GAN 12 if it's at all possible. There we go. I'll pop the top off the GAN 11, which should be a bit easier because I've done it a few times. So we'll compare those two. GAN 12 on the right here. As you can see there, if we can zoom in, I can't zoom in, but the camera's not that good at close-ups, unfortunately. Good old GoPros, good for long distance, not good for close-up. It's got a spring in there, and obviously if you look in here, it's hard to see, but if I was to get a little micro camera or something slide in, you'll find there's nothing between that blue bit and the bit below, because it's all magnets pushing against each other, so there's literally no spring in there. It's just magnets pushing against each other, doing the same job as that magnet, which means, what's physics 101? No friction, okay, or at least lots of reduced friction. No friction between the magnets, but friction to the other components. So the friction from what the spring would normally generate is removed, okay, and that makes for excitement. One thing I will point out to anybody who has got GAN 11 who goes to a GAN 12, if you know your cube very well or you adjust it, the GAN 11s normally adjust everything or tension up anti-clockwise, okay. On the GAN 12 they adjust everything clockwise now. For some reason they've changed it from anti-clockwise to clockwise, so all the adjustments are clockwise on these, okay. Right, so the tool, this magic little tool, you can see it rotates. There's a point when you pull it, it feels like it's going to lock. If you just pull it at that lock point, if I can get it, it clicks into place, okay. It's now locked, okay. Now normally this one would just slot in like that, and you would turn it, the lock to tension up, and then it will reset. Okay, on this one it does a similar sort of thing, so you find it, goes down so far, and then you turn it up, click, 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 and then it'll do a large click to reset, and then you've got the same clicks again, okay. That's for the tension. For the actual slackness of the cube, or the tightness of the cube, you just turn this upside down and place it on top of the UFO, and you do the same, click, 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 click. The advantage with this is you don't have to swap out anything. It's all contained within the cube, so there's no swapping out, there's no stripping the cube down. In a competition, there's literally pop the caps off, readjust, pop the caps back on, you're ready. Okay. Whereas this, if you want a slacker cube, or slacker than 3, then you would have to put the dark blues in to go to level 4, which is the slackest you can get on this cube. Okay. The advantage that the 12 has over the 11 in this respect is you have 4 settings of slackness on the GAN 11, you have 6 on the GAN 12. Okay, same amount of tension. Okay, same amount of tension on each, but you've got a couple extra clicks on the GAN 12 for the actual slackness of the cube, so you can get a little bit more precise with it, which I find is really good. Just for reference, the default settings for the GAN 12, the slackness of the cube is set to 2, so it's quite tight. It's 1 click from tight, or tightest, and the tension's set to 3 clicks from reset. Is it 3 clicks from reset? Yeah, I think it is. I'm just going to do it. 1, 2. I think that's actually 2 clicks from reset. No, it's definitely 3 clicks. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. So 3 clicks from reset is what the default setting is. I kept that the same it was, but I changed the slackness from 2 to 4. So the 4 is 2 away from the slackest point, and that just stops corner twisting. I haven't had a corner twist at that level, which is similar to what I've done there. Is I went to the light blue 3 because I found dark blue 4 was really nice and slack, but I got a lot of corner twists, which is no good when you're doing time solves. Alright if you're twiddling about and just practicing generally, but you don't want corner twist in competition if you can help it, because it's just going to add time to your times. So yeah, I tend to knock it off to the point where it's not quite going to corner twist, unless you really got a really bad corner tie up, and then it might twist. But you try to corner twist. You can corner twist quite well on this one, but you've got to give it a little bit of shove. Whereas on 5 and 6, it's much easier. There's virtually nothing there to corner twist, and that's what runs into problems. This key is quite good because if you just squish it carefully, it just goes back to wiggly mode, and you just put it back in your little box. And that is pretty much it. I'll do the corner. Oh, the corner settings, as usual with GAN, the corner adjusters in here are normally in the middle or neutral. Okay, I have got mine set to the least strongest setting for the core magnets, and I'll explain why I've done that. Okay, and that just makes for an interesting cube. So I'll put the caps back on. I'm not going to take them apart. If you want to see what this thing looks like apart, there's plenty of other people who've done reviews where they've actually took the bit out. It's not worth the hassle. It takes a bit of fiddling to get them back in. I'm trying to keep the video short, which is not helping when I'm gassing on. Right, so that's pretty much the difference. The weight difference, I did a weight earlier on. This one weighs in at 63 grams, my current one with my lube and stuff in. This one weighs in at 66/67, so it's about 66 and a half, but we'll say 67 for the maximum weight of it. So yeah, there's 3 grams, say, heavier. 4 grams, yeah, 4 grams, sorry. So 3 to 4 grams heavier difference. However, when you weigh them side by side, to be fair, they virtually feel the same weight because it's such a small, significant amount. In all fairness, when I first got this GAN 12, I thought it was actually lighter than this, and it wasn't until I weighed this in just before, this actually is lighter, but it feels heavier than this. I don't know why, it just does. Anyway, how does it go? How does it work? Bloody fast. That's the best way I can describe it. The core magnet system, because they've repositioned where the magnets are, they've basically, what they've done is they've realised that the magnets further out don't give the same effect as magnets which are closer to the core. So they've moved all the magnets towards the centre of the core. So not only do you get a pull effect into the corners, halfway through, if I took the cap off, you'd find this levitates. And this is why it's called a MagLev, okay? Because it obviously you've got your repel within here normally, but if you take away that repel tension, okay, that repel from those 2 magnets, you'll find that the corner magnets, as they get to halfway, actually repel from each other. So not only do you get this pull acceleration to the corner, you get push acceleration. So it actually pushes with your push, and then pulls into the corner after a certain point. After the 30 degrees, that's where it returns, and this is where it significantly changes the cube. And because you haven't got the friction, it feels like you're not doing anything at all. There's no weight at all in this cube. So when you're rotating it and doing stuff, you have to use a tensioned or heavy tube to keep your muscle strength up, because there's nothing. If it was full of helium, honestly, it'd be like you know how spacemen have to do exercise in space all the time because they get muscle fatigue, and their muscles turn to goo because they're not using the muscles the way they would be under a gravitational pull. Do I like this cube? Yes, I absolutely love this cube. Ignore this creaking, that's just my crappy chair. It has the same quirks as this. If you get your things wrong, it can really lock up on you. That is normal with most cubes. You know, if you're imprecise, then the cube's going to be imprecise, and it's going to kick you in the teeth whenever it feels like it. But the movement of this, there's so little effort. It's like really chilling out, and just generally just. You know what I mean? You don't have to really think about anything at called to solve the cube, which is cool. It's just so nice to just flick around, and you can do it quite easily. You know what I mean? I can't describe. It just moves when you want it to move, the way you want to move it. Once you get it set the way you like it, I think each to their own. I was going to get back to that in regards to the corner settings. I've put it on least sensitive or least strength for the magnets, for the core magnets, simply because when you've got it on medium or neutral and or strong, you do get a very strong click into the corner, and also the edge cornering, because of that core lock, as it were, can affect your MU. So if you are a Ru solver, like I use Ru to do something with pseudo cross to fix it, I'll do a pseudo cross fix. So there's a cross, there's a pseudo cross there, for example, you've got two edge pieces the wrong way, so you just do that to fix it. Okay, now if you've got the magnet struck quite strong, that can stop you or overshoot a lot and cause a mess up when you're trying to solve at speed. So backing all those magnets off a little bit just gives you that control. I've still got the stability of the cube, but I've also got the least amount of MU resistance that I can get. So it's great for doing those ones, for like Z-perm. So you can do them quite nicely. And I'm not a Ru person. I do a little bit of Ru, but not enough. I'm not like my friend Michael Cox, who's purely Ru, and he loves the Ru, you know, and he's really good at it. So I think each to their own. I've never been a really good MU person, but this allows me to be good at MU when I need it, that's what I've set it for. Because I knew MU was going to be the bit that trips me up if I'm going to use continue to use pseudo cross solves, where I'll just solve a cross with minimal moves, but have a pseudo cross where I'll just have to do an M2 U2 M2 to fix it at you know, PLL stage or whatever. Whenever I decide to fix it, I'll decide when to fix it whenever I can. So yeah, would I recommend this cube to a Ru solver? If you have these sort of settings, yes. It's a really nice cube, and I find it's a really nice cube for doing slices on. It's everything's really good on it. You just cannot really fault it. It's got good grip, all round, fantastic. I suppose everybody's going to ask the question: is it worth the money? I think it's like anything, you know. A car is a car, but if you want, you know, to spend 300,000 on a Lamborghini, spend 300,000 on a Lamborghini. It still does the same job. It's still, you know, still goes from A to B. It just feels that little bit different because you spent that much extra money on it. You can get cheaper versions of these sorts of cubes though, which is, it's always a good thing if you can get a sort of like, you know, you've got like your sport edition of cars, and you've got your sort of like, you know, creme de la creme Rolls Royce types. It just depends what you want to put your money into. I think if you want the versatility of a cube where it can be set up for literally any person, yeah, it's worth the 70 quid. Don't get me wrong, there is cheaper cubes out there that feel just as good. Do they work as good? Is the question. There's still times where I'll pick up a couple of my other cubes which I find are really good, like GTS 3M. I find that is a really nice cube. It's just too heavy. It's a very heavy cube. I remember when I do me charity events with those, and I'd normally have 3 of those cubes running. After an hour, I'm feeling exhausted physically in my hands because I'm having to hold this weight, even though there's no real effort in the cube. The weight of turning the whole cube is a burden. So yeah, this weighs nothing. It turns with nothing. So doing charity events with these things would be a much better idea. It means I could do a longer charity and not get so fatigued with it. So yeah, so there we go. I've left that cubes there just to say, you know, best UK shop for cubing anywhere in the UK. Always go to them. Fantastic blokes, Cubes UK. And girls, just in case there's girls in there. I don't even know if there is any lasses in there, but I hope there is. Excuse my cough. Fantastic. So, I don't think there was anything else I had to really talk about in regards to this. But if you know someone who's got one, it's worthwhile having a shot at one and see what you think of it. Even if it means you have to, you know, change your settings. Okay. It's you know, just say, look, just make a note of your settings and I'll tweak it to my own needs and play with it for half an hour and see what I think of it. So it's a great cube. I'm going to take this to the Wakefield competition in January, and let Mike will have a play with this, because I'm sure you'll want a shot of it, the way it's set up. I think you'll find that quite a nice cube for his Roo. To be fair, I didn't have, when I last met him, I didn't really have this cube set up for Roo. I had it set up quite tight magnets, and even now you can feel this one, even though I've got it set pretty much the same. Yeah, slackest. It still feels quite a clunky move compared with that, which it feels more rounded off, which is what Roo solvers like. They like a nice rounded feel, where they're not feeling like they're doing too much effort to keep control of it. As far as I know, anyway. I'll ask Michael about that one, I see. Anyway, so yes, that's the GAN 12 MagLev, or GAN 12 M Pro. It's different shops to sell it differently, but yeah, it's a 12 MagLev anyway, so it's got no springs. Okay. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, I think that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's probably a bit long-winded, to be fair. How long we've been? 22 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to cut it off. So until the next time, take care, and I'll probably catch you before New Year, hopefully, with another video. See you later. Hi, this is WBCS Neo. Thank you for watching this video. If you did like it, please check out all the other videos I do have. More importantly, please subscribe, like, share, and if you can, comment below if you want. Okay, comments will be answered as soon as I can. Until the next time, see you later. Bye bye.